This is Bones on Campus. I wanted to do a disassembly video of a Ruger Vaquero. So to do this, what you're going to need is a couple of screwdrivers that fit the 5 screws that attach the grip frame to the frame, and a little screw for the grip panels. Also going to need either the little copper piece of wire disassembly pin, or an Allen wrench, or I'm going to use a little tiny punch to capture the mainspring. First, I'm going to do, open the gate, spin the cylinder, make sure that it's unloaded. Go ahead, pull the base pin out, take the cylinder right out, and it's unloaded and off to the side. This is a 3 3/4 inch barreled stainless Ruger New Vaquero Montado. It has the Montado hammer, which is a wide low spur with checkering. So to start with, what we're going to do is take the grip panels off. Take a screwdriver, undo the grip panel screw, put the panels off to the side. And here you have your mainspring and your lock. And if you turn that little key, you can lock it up and make it safe, or leave it alone. If you want, you can take this little divot right here in the back side of the grip panel. If you start from there and drill it out, you can put a hole through so you can activate the lock without having to take the grips off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the hammer back and tilt the gun up until the transfer bar doesn't stick behind the firing pin. You should see a little hole, and take the pin punch, lower the hammer. Your mainspring is now held captive. So what I'm going to do next is, taking my properly fitted screwdriver, I'm going to go and I'm going to undo these 2 screws in the back by the hammer, and then these 3 screws in the bottom of the grip frame. If your screwdriver is not fitted to the size of what you're working on, you will definitely ding, scratch, and gouge up your frame. Now this is a stainless frame, so I'm not going to be as careful as I would with an alloy frame. And by alloy, I mean non-stainless steel. Okay, the 2 grip screws that go in the back are out. I'm going to start by taking out the 3 grip screws, or the 3 frame screws on the bottom. And hopefully you won't be intimidated by having to tear one of these apart. I'll show you how to put it back together the right way, and how to make sure you don't misplace anything. You're going to want to keep screws separate from this point on. The 2 screws in the back are the same length, so I'll put those off to one side. Now I always take the gun apart with the muzzle facing to the left. So the screw that's right now, this screw here, pull it out. It's longer than those, but it's shorter than this guy. The end of it is not threaded, and it acts as a plunger to hold the hammer pivot in place. And then finally, we take apart the screw in the front of the frame, and this guy is the shortest of them all. And it didn't even hit the floor. So, as you can see, we have 4 different size screws. So now, you can pull your gun apart. Be careful to do this. As you can see, there's a spring plunger here that shouldn't come jumping out. Okay, this is the grip frame. You can now take apart, or take the lock and the mainspring out of the grip frame. Now, in the grip frame, on the bottom of the lock is a little spacer. You need to make sure you don't lose that. And we can take these parts and set them aside. In the grip frame, there is a plunger in the front. It's different size than the other plunger. In the grip frame, you have a trigger return spring, which is a little coil spring that trigger contacts in the back of the slot, and it hooks on a pin in the back of the grip frame. I'm going to pull the little plunger out in the back of the frame. Now, the inside guts of this, we have hammer, trigger. This is our gate. We have our gate spring. We have our cylinder latch, which is this guy here, a transfer bar, and a pawl. So, start taking these apart. What I do is I take a small punch or a small screwdriver, take the gate spring, put it up a little bit, you can hear it click, and it's going to pop up under your gate. I'm going to push down on it so that I can push my trigger pivot out. Because that guy has a little notch in it that contacts the gate spring. Push that guy out, hold your hand over everything and make sure nothing comes out. And that is your trigger pivot. From there, I'm going to push up the hammer pivot, and as you notice, the hammer pivot has a groove in it. This groove is where this pin goes into to lock that in place. You can put that in either way, just this has to find that groove to hold it in. Pull that guy out, and now I'm going to take everything out of the gun, which you can pretty much do by just stumping it out. And yes, all that just fell out. But it's not a big deal.